All right, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Rita Jean, and I'm going to be a host tonight on this call for our Nourish Your Dopamine Reset support call and workshop. And I'm so glad that you're here, whether it's with kids, dinner, noise, chaos in the background, camera on and or off. I'm really happy you made it because your presence matters. And tonight we are talking about something that impacts every single one of us. Hi, Allison, welcome. So, we're talking about dopamine, motivation, focus, emotional regulation, the way your brain feels on the inside, your nervous system. And this topic, it matters so much more than we realize. So, here's what we're up against. The average person touches their phone 2,617 times a day. Does that shock or surprise anyone? Yeah, that surprised me too. Every notification triggers a dopamine spike in our brains, followed by a dip that actually makes your brain crave more. And then multitasking, does anybody multitask? Anyone? Multitasking reduces our productivity by 40%. And sugar, I was surprised to learn this one. Sugar activates the same dopamine reward pathways as drugs and alcohol. And sugar is in everything, right? And we're exposed to it at such a young age. And overstimulation can impair our motivation and our focus for hours, even into the next day. And chronic overstimulation reduces our dopamine, which we're going to learn more about, our dopamine receptor sensitivity, so that you actually feel less joy from the same things that used to bring you joy. So, if you have been feeling scattered or tired or unfocused or irritable, you're not broken. Your dopamine system is exhausted. So, from November through the new year, our nervous system gets slammed. We experience more sugar, more scrolling, more stimulation, more emotional load, more decisions, less sunlight, less rest, less presence. And we feel it physically, not just mentally. Does anybody else feel it with the holidays, with all that is happening? And some of us, we think that we're failing. We think that we need more willpower. But the truth is, our brain is overloaded and the nervous system gets overloaded and overstimulated, and our dopamine gets depleted. So I want to share something that I've never really shared publicly in this way, but it's how this reset began. So after I gave birth to Layla, she's 11 months now, I intentionally stepped away from everything, from my phone, from social media, from email, because I wanted to be fully present with her, just bonding, nursing, learning each other, and just being a mama. And that's when something really surprised me. So every time I would reach for my phone, it was not a conscious decision, it was an impulse or a reflex. And research, anybody ever done this? Find yourself, oh my goodness, it's obnoxious, right? So research calls this the automatic dopamine loop. It's a behavior that is so fast that it actually bypasses our conscious choice. And it makes sense, right? Because the average person, we touch our phone over 2,000 times a day. And our brains were never designed for this level of stimulation. So, fast forward to last month, I was listening to a podcast with Dr. Anna Limke on the Diary of a CEO, and she said, the faster dopamine is released, the more addictive the stimulus becomes. And suddenly I had a light bulb moment because dopamine doesn't just spike, it always dips, meaning the more that we scroll, the more sugar, the more overwhelmed, the more depleted we become. And so then the other day, I was driving through my neighborhood and I saw two teens, siblings, brother and sister. They're standing right next to each other, but their shoulders are slumped, their faces are blank, and they're glued to their screens, right? They're not talking to each other, no connecting, just gone. And it broke my heart, right? Especially knowing that today kids are actually growing up in a dopamine environment that no generation prior has ever experienced. And many teens, I'm just checking out. Oh, yeah, I know it's hard. It's hard, right? We see this every day. So many teens spend nearly 5 hours a day on social media alone, and that's not including school, gaming, streaming, all of the things, right? And teens with higher screen time are twice as likely to report recent anxiety or depression system. And it's really not their fault. Their brains and our brains are being hijacked. So that's when I realized this is not a habit issue. This is a nervous system issue, a dopamine issue, and most importantly, a freedom issue. So that's why we built this reset to help us take back our presence, our clarity, our joy. And dopamine is your brain's let go chemical. It controls our motivation, focus, clarity, follow through, emotional resilience, our learning, our memory, our ability to feel joy. And here's the truth, when our dopamine receptors are overwhelmed, our willpower becomes physiologically impossible. And that's biology. It's not a lack of discipline. But here's the really good news, guys. Dopamine sensitivity can be rebuilt, and it's tiny habits that reawaken your brain's ability to feel motivated again. So, this is not a detox, it's not a cleanse, it's not a punishment, it's not about restriction whatsoever. It's a gentle nervous system centered reset. So small wins, simple nourishment, tiny shifts that build momentum, a little bit more presence, and a little less chaos. And here are a few stories from the group, some messages I've received already. The more regular I'm already more regular. My body craves water before I was reaching for soda. So amazing to shift that. And finally, I've been consistent with daily exercise and superfoods since beginning this challenge. Being held in a container to build aligned habits is such a gift. And another friend, day 17, daily habit check-in and reflection. I'm experiencing better sleep, less sugar, and reduced screen time. And I notice my energy has improved from a 4 to a 7. So all beautiful wins, want to celebrate each other. And I want to share something else important because this reset isn't just about you. A child's nervous system actually syncs to their caregiver within 60 to 90 seconds, which is amazing. And when a parent is stressed, a child's cortisol raises instantly. So kids mirror our dopamine patterns, whether they're healthy or unhealthy. So when you regulate, your kids also regulate. And when your dopamine resets, it reflects in your home energy softens, meltdowns decrease, connection deepens, patience expands, presence becomes easier, and your whole family benefits, your relationships benefit. And yes, these superfoods are absolutely family friendly. So during the holidays, dopamine takes its biggest hit. And this year, we're not going to crash into January. We're actually entering it already in momentum. And I want to share my story with you because this is where everything really began. When I started these superfoods about 6 years ago, I truly thought I was doing everything right. I was eating organic, eating clean, cooking at home. I don't even really crave sugar because I didn't grow up with much sugar in the house. But something shocked me. I naturally started eating about two-thirds less food because my body was finally feeling nourished. And my cravings disappeared. I didn't want my favorite pizza. I didn't want the Christmas cookies that were right in front of me. And I stopped looking in the fridge wondering, what am I missing? right? Just opening the fridge. What is it? What do I need? I couldn't figure it out. But then once I had these superfoods, I finally had what I needed. And then something deeper even happened. My body exhaled. After 90 days, it was the first time that I actually felt like myself in 15 years. After trying everything to reclaim my freedom from what was a very debilitating car accident. And my joy came back. I felt my cells come alive. I got back into my passions, my creativity, my athletics, and the parts of me that I almost completely gave up on. So, curious if anyone here has ever had a moment where your goals felt so far out of reach, they just kept escaping you. And that's when I really learned that when the brain is nourished, cravings fade. When dopamine stabilizes, compulsions dissolve. When your cells finally have what they've been missing, your life opens back up again. And so, before we dive into the tiers of how we can get started, I want to share another dopamine truth. Healthy dopamine, it has to be worked for. Scrolling gives you a spike, but effort gives you that stability. So the brain releases its most regulating, long-lasting dopamine after effort, meaning we got to earn it, we got to work for it. It can also be through walking, through a hug, through creative movement, through tiny completed tasks, from doing something hard, or a 10-minute simple reset. And these really aren't small things. They're literally retrain your dopamine receptors to become sensitive again. And when that sensitivity returns, our motivation returns, confidence returns, we come home to ourselves. So, in this reset, what you get is 1 to 2 nutrient rich superfood meals a day, guided exercise and alignment, daily dopamine reset steps that are very simple to do, nervous system regulation support, a 30-day dopamine guide, which is mind-blowing as you dive into it, our weekly support calls, community, accountability, and we also have a pineal clear and chill spray giveaway, as well as a 90-day dopamine grid that I made us. So every day that you show up for your brain with one of these simple habits, you mark an X. And your brain really loves to see this visible progress. So, tier one is perfect if you're wanting fewer cravings and steadier energy. And this includes our amazing nutrient dense power shake. This is in our home compostable packaging. And dopamine actually requires magnesium, zinc, iron, potassium, and B6. And most adults are deficient in at least three of these. So, nutrient deficiency impacts so many things, but it also reduces our dopamine production by up to 50%, which is wild. So, our power shake replenishes us with the raw materials that we need so our brains can actually make dopamine again. And then we have our biomedic, which is our gut brain support. Over 50% of dopamine is influenced by the gut. And when the gut has inflammation, it disrupts our hormones and our neurotransmitters. So, biomedic helps to restore that balance and it reduces our C reactive protein, which is an inflammatory marker, by 75%. So, that's tier one. Really simple, just add it to your daily habit. Tier two is our core four, and it's about $7 a day. So it's perfect for deeper sleep, emotional steadiness, and it includes one meal a day. So you don't have to cook, you don't have to clean up. It's just super easy. So it includes everything from tier one that we talked about, but it also has your super amino 23, and these are 99% bioavailable amino acids. And when we have low amino acids, we have low dopamine, low motivation. Again, it actually impacts everything. This is like your muscle rebuild. And then we have our apothecary. So, sleep loss actually significantly impacts our dopamine receptors. Even one poor night of sleep impacts our mood, our focus, and our motivation. So, tart cherries are amazing for the body, for the kidneys. They also increase melatonin by 38% and help our body to produce it. And when we have a rested brain, we have regulated hormones and nervous system. With that, you can also get the dark berry protein shake. So again, this is all just wind dehydrated raw living nutrition. You just add water to it and shake it up, and it's delicious. So the dark berry protein, it has amazing adaptogens and herbs that support the brain and the nervous system, and antioxidants that protect those dopamine pathways and really enhance that brain and cellular energy. So that's tier two. And then tier three is our full transformation, impacting our habits, our metabolism. So it's everything in tier two, but you can also do the super cleanser, which is a parasite cleanse. And parasites consume the minerals and amino acids that your body needs to make dopamine, as well as other impacts in the body. And low minerals equals low neurotransmitters and a low mood. And then if you're pregnant or nursing, you'll just swap this with our chlorella, which is rich in iron, magnesium, zinc, B6, the four essential cofactors for dopamine synthesis. And it also increases oxygen delivery, and the enzymes require oxygen in order to activate. So that is for our nursing and pregnant mamas. And we recommend doing a pineal clear add-on, which is unbelievable, amazing whole food minerals, support your clarity, creativity off the charts, amazing dreams, and also those energy dependent dopamine production, just so important for the brain. And we also recommend our chill spray. This is brand new. I have been loving this. This has your GABA and L-theanine, which are two compounds your brain already uses to interrupt spiraling thoughts, to support emotional balance, and also just help your mind and brain quiet down when it's overstimulated. And I feel immediately calm and peaceful when I have it. It's really fun. I love this. So no pressure, just choose the support that your season needs. So we have our starter for fewer cravings, steadier energy, the core four for deeper sleep, plus one meal replacement a day, or the ULT, the full transformation for your nervous system, hormones, plus two meals a day. So drop the tier that you're resonating with in the chat. And here's what happens over time. So in 30 days, you interrupt the pattern. In 60 days, your brain actually rewires, and in 90 days, you become the pattern. You change your identity. All right. So our brain loves the visible progress, and you don't do it alone. We do it together. We're resetting together. So before we close, I want to open this call up. If you've been using these superfoods, if you've done the ULT reset with us, if you've noticed shifts in your cravings, your mood, your energy, your motivation, we'd love to hear a simple share or change that you've noticed. Nothing medical, just how you feel different. And if you'd like to share, please raise your hand or come off mute. Oh, yay! I love reading in the chat. Erin said, just finished my first 90-day ULT. Seriously life-changing. Hi, Allison.
Hey, great job, Rita. I have three wild boys behind me, so
Love it.
I'll do my best.
Love it.
And I actually got two guys upstairs installing a bathtub, and they just had some power shake, and they were like, "All right, this is not bad."
I love it.
I've been on the superfood overhaul program, the ULT, for a little over 2 years, and I am just crushing so many things in life and just hitting new levels beyond. I do want to touch on the two products that we're doing a giveaway for because I am obsessed with pineal clear in all the best ways. I actually didn't have it for the last 3 months because our last bottle, my husband did something funny with it and poured it on his hand. He thought it would heal his hand when he burned it. And I was like, "No,
Oh,
what did you do?" But so I felt a huge shift in just my capacity, maybe anxiety, mental clarity, all the smoothness, the glide that I have by not having that product. So we recently got that back, which I was really excited to get back into routine with. And then the chill spray, my 7-year-old is obsessed with it. Literally, like he'll ask for it all the time. And so I give it to him in place of a treat. So that's pretty cool. My kids, so I have usually about 3 shakes a day because we're living off this and I perform better in my life across the board. But my kids routinely have like 2 shakes a day. And so I love that most all products are really family centered and oriented to just streamline all that goodness in for everybody. It just makes getting to all the other parts of life easier and more full. So great job. Thank you for all the dopamine info.
yeah.
Wow. Love it.
Yes, such an important topic, right? And Allison, how much time has it saved you being a busy mama?
Insane. Which, I liked how you talked about the multitasking because we have to be able to get to the dreams and the certain things. But it's saved me so much time. Just it started with me. And then quickly my husband was like kind of stealing things out of my box. So he got his own. And then it just transferred to the kids and now it transfers to the people who come over to our homes and just it saves everybody time so we have more time to be together. Like
Mhm.
you were saying, to lock in, be present, to give, exchange, everybody's happy versus hangry. And
Mm.
just notice when you miss a little something in a day, when you're kind of on a routine, a rhythm, it shows it, you definitely feel it. So yes, it
Mhm.
totally saves time and we spend way less at stores and I get rewards points for the money I spend. So for me,
Yeah.
it's smart.
I love it. Thank you. Win, win, win. I totally resonate. Thank you for sharing. Erin, would love to hear your story.
Hey, hi Allison. I just wanted to piggyback off of what Allison said, only because I resonate with it a lot coming off of the 90-day ULT, because it did change so much, like even for my whole family. My daughter is 15, and she even told me, even today, I think, she tells me all the time, she was like, Mom, we should just do shakes all day. Like that's all she wants to do. We started doing the Epigenus shake for my kids, and partly because my son, my oldest son, who's 18, got a job, and his job starts at 5 in the morning. And I was like, dude, you gotta have good nutrition so that you can work and be okay and fed and full. And so I started making him make the shakes for breakfast so he can, have a meal before he goes. That was easy because he can make it the night before and then he just puts it in the refrigerator and it's ready. And so, yeah, my daughter's like, we should just do shakes all day long. Like, that's all she wants. So she was actually really stoked when I got the dark berry protein. She was like in love. And so she's always sad when the Epigenus shake is gone. So I'm waiting for that to come, hopefully in the next few days. And then I just started like adding a whole bunch of stuff. The pineal clear, like totally, I have to say, is amazing. But there's so many things. It's been like literally life changing. My irises are changing because I'm an iridologist. Like, so I'm looking at my eyes like all day long. So that's pretty insane to see, especially in digestion. So I can vouch that the biomedic is insane. I had so much digestive toxicity that is slowly fading, which is mind blowing. And I've always had digestive problems my entire life. So to go from that to where I am now is, I mean, and it only took 3 months. I mean, it's actually crazy. And on top of that, I have two of my estheticians at work that both did the 90-day ULT, and one of them lost 30 pounds in 90 days, and the other one lost 20 pounds. So it's actually crazy. And they were both like, my clothes fit better, like I just feel good. And they are both going to extend with the maintenance program with the core four and continue to do it because they love it that much. So, I mean, lots of wins. I just have to like say that it's totally changed my life and I'm literally obsessed. And I'm actually sad that I'm out of my Kamut blend. Like, I only have enough for like one more, and I'm really sad. So when things like run out, I'm like devastated. So just
Uh,
make sure to stock up. Don't let it run out before you get your next shipment
oh,
because it's sad when it does.
It's on sale right now.
100%.
But seriously, we have at least one shake a day.
I
Like at
love it.
least. My daughter would do every single meal shake if I let her. Like,
Mhm.
but it's cold here in Chicago, so like we still have kind of a warm dinner, but we stay raw until dinner time and it works really, really, really well for us. So
I love it. Congratulations. That's so wonderful. And just to know that you and your family are getting the best nourishment possible. I didn't even cover, but this food, the way that it's grown, it's regeneratively grown in living soil, nutrient-rich soil, and that means everything for our body. So congrats. And I'm right with you. I was laughing because when I run out, I'm like, oh no, it's such a big difference. And it does. It saves me so much time, so much on my grocery bill, and just even coming from an eating really healthy background, it's a night and day difference. So thank you for sharing. Nicole, would love to hear your story.
So I'm actually right smack in the center of the ULT right now. I'm actually on day 12. Today is day 12 for me. So in the past 12 days, the things that I have noticed has been my digestion. Much like other people have said, I have digestion issues like you wouldn't believe. Like to the point that like I have liver pain if I eat certain foods. And that has completely gone. I don't have liver pain anymore. I don't have any of those issues. I'm sleeping a ton better than I used to. Yeah, so I have Hashimoto's, which affects my thyroid. And so my nutrition has to be key in order to survive that disease. But the other things I've noticed is my moods have regulated out. My anxiety level is not super, super high like it used to be. I'm actually more focused and less focused. So for somebody with ADHD, those amino acids hit me basically like a doctor described it to me as being like crack cocaine. The amino 23 is by far my favorite product I've had so far. It just immediately centers down my focus. The meal shakes are fantastic. Much like everybody else, I have a daughter and we're rushing out the door in the morning. And I love that little carousel because I will take it out the door with me if I have to, and I will mix it in the car and drink right out of the carousel. um, on my way out. So it has been amazing, like and that's just on day 12. So I can't wait to see how much farther it goes and helps me as I go along. I just started the parasite cleanse too. So that's been interesting to see how my body has reacted to that. And to help heal some of that digestive issue that I've been having. My cravings for sugar are gone. I'm one that craves soda, and I craved alcohol too. And what's funny is we were in the store earlier today and I passed the wine shelf and kept going. I had no desire to have wine at all. And that's huge for me because I'm also Italian. So that's some of the things that has really, really just been massive for me.
Wow, Nicole. And that's just day 12. Look at you. Congratulations. I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy you're here. And, I don't know if anybody else struggles with distraction, just easily distractible, right? But for me too, this has been so amazing for having that clear, calm focus and getting things done. And congrats, I'm 6 years into this and I can promise it just gets better and better and better and better and deeper and deeper and deeper. So congrats. So happy you're here. And those are really, really big wins. I remember trying for years to eliminate cravings, and I've had so many friends who tried for 12 years plus to get rid of sugar cravings, and you're already 12 days in and eliminating those. So I love to hear it. Congrats. Woohoo. Yay. Well, thank you for sharing these wonderful stories. This is really why we do this. This is why we get together, to cheer each other on, to hear each other's stories. And it truly does just get better and better. So, in closing, you guys, I want to honor everyone's time, but you really don't need more discipline. You don't need to wait till January. You don't need to fix yourself. You just need nourishment. And if you felt like you're failing, you're not. You're tired. Your dopamine is tired, right? And this reset is your invitation to truly come home to yourself. To me, this was a homecoming. It was the first time I had felt like myself since high school, right? And for some people, it's the first time they feel like they're truly meeting themselves and their true potential. And it's an invitation to bring your whole family with you. So if your gut is saying, I need this, trust that. That's your intuition. And intuition is dopamine's mother tongue. So just get back to the person who invited you. Choose your tier. They'll help you. They'll help you customize anything you need. And join us because we're starting now and we're starting together. And we love you. Thank you for being here. I love this community so much. I just can't even, words don't even communicate how much this has transformed my life. So we're going to be here again next week on this transformation support call. And if you know somebody that this could also change their life, please invite them. Just let them know. Because I know if this hadn't showed up, my life wouldn't be what it is today. So thanks for being here. Thanks for sharing stories. Thanks for attending. And we'll see you guys next week. Aloha.